Nothing more than 4 pencils, a clay eraser, maybe a scale, and that's it. Yeah, you heard it right. I have seen people carrying a lot of stationery in these exams, and those poor people, they don't even get to use it. I mean, there are a few questions where they'll ask you to fill colors, but pencil colors are more than enough, 6 shades. In fact, let me tell you, I wrote the writing part also in NID as well as CEED with my pencils. So you carry 4B pencils and 6B pencils. Let's make it 6 pencils for you, because whether the pencil falls down from the desk and breaks, because this happened with me. I was sharpening my pencils in the exam. It's a very negative thing to happen. So 4B and 6B pencils are more than enough. One should be very sharp and the other should be used up so that you can make smooth lines without creating scratches on the paper. Because see, what happens is when you use a dark shade sharp pencil, it creates scratches as well as creates a dark shade of the graphite. Now if you want to erase it, what do? You use your clay eraser to pull the graphite out. The graphite comes out, but the scratch is still on the paper. Okay, so make sure that one pencil is used up with a proper round tip so that the scratches are not there on the paper. And you can also use lesser shades to draw the rough lines, because I don't know how you are comfortable. I am comfortable with 4B because I can actually lose my hands up and I can draw it with light lines. Okay, so and to darken it, I have a darker shade 6B pencil, not more than that, because 8B pencils if you use, or more than 6B pencils if you use, the graphite will also not come out if you want to erase it. So 6B was perfect for me. I got on this conclusion by using it a lot. I sketched a lot. I know that the cartridge sheet is the quality of paper that will be provided in CEED, because I have given the exam. That is why I'm telling you the quality of paper is really good. This time it was like the TK sheets, like the white ivory sheets. So the quality is good. You don't have any issues with using pencils over there. As far as pens are concerned, if you want to use pen, remember there is no undo in pen. You can't erase whatever you draw, right? So if you are okay with it, go with it. Don't come up with a lot of stationaries, because even if you have a lot of things in front of you, you will waste your time choosing things. The less amount of things you have, the less time you are going to waste in choosing it. Focus on drawing in the exam and do everything that will not waste your time. So what do we have as stationery is a scale, 4 pencils. For you, let's make it 6. I used 4B and 6B pencils. Use whatever you are comfortable with, but make sure it's sharpen. And then a clay eraser is there, and 6 shades of color pencils. That's it. And use it if they are asking in the evaluation criteria to use it, or else let them be in the boxes with you. Okay, and nothing more than that. And the paper is A4 size. The boxes for the creativity question in CEED is I guess 7 by 7 centimeters, and the problem identification illustration box is half the size of the A4 as far as I can remember. And rest you get A4 size sheets. You get a rough bunch of paper inside the booklet which you have to return to the invigilator, because it is in the booklet. You can't just tear it apart. So you have to give it to the invigilator. So, and for part A, you get rough sheets beforehand. So yeah, that's about the stationery. So this video is not only about me saying you few things. Most of my videos are demonstrations. So this is also about creating fine lines. How do you come up with good lines? And here is the demo. So we have 2 4B pencils, 1 6B pencil, and simple clay eraser, and few color pencils like this in case if it is asked to color something. This year I did not use it at all. I just carried these with me. But this is what basically you'll need, and everything else is fine. So first of all, I'll tell you what happens when you use a darker shade pencil more than 6B. Here it's the 9B pencil. Let's say that this is a shape that you made, and now you have to shade it to black. Yeah. So this you do, and suddenly what happens that something goes out like this. Now this is the darkest pencil. This is 8B or this is 9B actually, but maybe you'll use 8B. Now when you have to pick out this color, what happens is, see, the graphite won't come out properly from there, and you have to rub a lot. This is going to waste your time and also going to make your paper dirty. So this will not come out that easily. But what if you use a simple 6B pencil? Now this is a 6B pencil. Now this is a little bit sharpened, so if you use it to shade with this, this is going to make scratches. So always make sure that you use a already used pencil, already used up pencil. So if this is the pencil that you use to shade, okay, this is going to come out very easily. But obviously the dark tone, you can see how cleanly it is coming out, how cleanly it has come out. I mean, wait, I'll show you the difference. So this is the cleanliness of 6B as well as this is the cleanliness of 9B. So this is going to make your paper much more dirty, and I know that you're going to erase a lot, so it's much better that you use the highest darkest pencil that you want to use should be the 6B one. Okay, and 4B should only be used to draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate with whatever I have right now here. Okay, and actually I thought that I was shooting, so I'm going to use charcoal. I want the darkest possible lines so that it is captured properly. But you use only these pencils. I would recommend these pencils to be used, nothing more than that. Okay, so this is what you will need, okay, as stationery in CEED exam or CEED AT. So let's keep this aside and continue with our demo. So how to come up with good line quality? Let's say that you have drawn something with your 4B pencil. Okay, this is a simple cylinder that you came up with. Yeah, and up below this cylinder there is a sphere, and then there is a cube like this. I mean a cuboid like this because it is elongated. Okay, I'm trying to make a composition which with 3D volumes. Okay, now let's also put a cone on this. Let's put a cone over here. Okay, now this exercise is really helpful to improve your spatial sensitivity. Now since we have this rough drawing, we can easily go on this with a darker tone, which in this case I have a 6B pencil. So here is the trick. Since you have your established rough drawing, you can go on these contours with a very light hand, and then progressively you can increase the pressure on your hand. Now look at this, and this will only work if you have drawn a lot of lines previously. Okay, so with a very light hand you can just trace this once, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now you can see how you can easily make a dark line which is really crisp as well as on your rough drawing. So yeah, here it is. Go on the same line slowly and steadily over and over so that you don't make hairy lines like this. Okay, hairy lines like this, you don't end up making so many different lines. Here you'll just have one line, and same thing you have to do with other lines as well. Okay, and forget about line width, just keep all the lines of the same width. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, so yeah, here it is. I really hope this takes less time, because I'm also going to show you the shading part here. Just reiterate your lines again and again. Fix your lines with a light hand and then progressively make it heavy to darken it. This way you can get very smooth and crisp lines. Yeah, see this. And this you should do only when you are confident with your lane, with the basic structure that you have created with your 4B pencil. If you're confident enough with that, because do all the changes into it and then come to this stage. Actually, I want to rotate my page, but okay. Anyways, see, it's comparatively easy on straight lines, but it becomes a little tricky when you are doing it with curves. That's where you have to practice a lot. Okay, so yeah, for example, this is the curve. It's really tricky to do it here. See, but if you practice enough, even the curves are easy, and it will be much easier if I was able to rotate my page, because making this line is easier than making this line. Okay, but anyways, this is the perfect quality of drawing that is enough for CEED, by the way. Rest also depends on your ideation. See, here I messed up with my drawing. The perspective was wrong. Yeah. Yeah. So only the base of this cone is left. I'll rotate my paper a little bit. Okay. For my, wish I had done this earlier. It saved a lot of time. So once this is done, I'm going to show you the shading process also. So I'll erase the light lines. And anyways, the way we have darkened the lines, it is going to be there. It is very tough to pull all these dark lines behind now. And that is why you should work on your lane a lot. So let's say that the light is falling from here. Okay. This. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just doing tone separation. The areas that are going to be in the shadow family, as well as the areas that will be in the light family. So I'm also thinking about the cast shadow of the objects that is appearing on other objects. For example, this cylinder is casting cast shadow on the sphere as well as this cuboid. So what I'll do is I'll, without any fear, I mean, this should be here, this should also come, okay, in the shadow family, and I would erase unnecessary lines, and I'm going to just give it a single tone, not more than that. See, with 6B only, I'm going to give it a single tone, because I'm demanded in one of the questions that I have to shade. So a single tone is enough. Make sure the lines are following one single direction. It actually makes your sketch look good. Okay? Yeah. And not more than three tones we are going to use because we have very less time. So this is the first tone. Everything will be in shadow here. Yeah. Yeah. Even this cone. Now let me draw the cast shadow of this whole family on the ground. Maybe something like this. So this whole area will come in shade. Will come in shade, yeah. Now, see, the second step is do the middle tones in the light family. So there has to be something in the light family. So with a very light, yeah, tone as compared to the thing that we have drawn earlier, I'm going to draw some areas that is not facing directly towards light. Okay, and now you'll just see the magic happening. When you put the core shadow, everything becomes alive suddenly. For example, now we already have established three tones. What I'm going to draw now is the darkest tone. One, yeah. So while you're watching this video, I must tell you that these tips and tricks will only be useful if you have already put up the efforts in the basics. When I say basics, I mean basic line drawing, drawing a lot of lines on the paper, creating shapes, creating compositions with the shapes, creating 3D structures on 2D surfaces like I am doing right now, putting dots and joining it with one stroke, creating circles with one stroke, making lines with loose hands, making lines with uh, heavy hands, so that there is a difference between dark and light values in the lines. So on that note, good luck for the exam, and if this video was helpful, mention in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram. Kerne is my Instagram ID, and join the drawing space. Share your work there. Thank you.